Okay, so it's been a while since I first made a tutorial on how to make a propeller like this, but just someone has recently asked me how do I make it spin. So I'm going to just demonstrate that quite quickly. So I'm just going to view it from the top here. Now at the moment all the parts of this propeller are separate, as you can see. There we go. So I want to join them up, and the way I do that is I click one part, then press shift, click another part. Keep your finger on shift, click another part, finger on shift, click another part, and now right click and click join, and all those pieces have joined up and we've still got a nice central point here. There we go. When this person says spin, I'm presuming that they mean continuously spin, but just in case they don't, let me show you how to make something spin. Okay, so what we do, okay, and we're just going to spin it in the Z-axis, so we're kind of looking down. The Z-axis is kind of, imagine a spindle straight down through the middle, and I know it is because it's on here. What we do, click R on the keyboard, which is for rotate, then click Z for we're defining what the axis we're going to rotate in is, and now I'm going to click 0, and that's a starting point because it's just started saying this is the 0 point, there's no degrees in it. Okay, I click enter, and now I'm going to click I, which means insert a keyframe, and actually I don't want to, I just want to insert the keyframe along the rotation, from rotation on rotation, nothing else really. So I'm just going to move this on 30 frames. It doesn't have to be 30 frames, by the way. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to click R and then Z, again defining the axis rotation, and then type in 360 for 360 degrees, and then click I for insert keyframe, and then click rotation. There we go. Hopefully now you should see, if I scroll that back, that propeller is rotating 360 degrees in 30 frames, which actually would transpire to be about 1 second. To be honest, this prop's moving too fast, but that doesn't matter for this demonstration. I envisage this as being a large ship prop, so that certainly wouldn't rotate in, it might rotate in 1 second, I don't know. But anyway, here we go. So that's 1 second. Now, there's a slight thing wrong with this in that, okay, it's just rotating once. And I'm presuming that anyone who wants to make a propeller move actually wants it to keep on spinning. Yeah. So the way we do this is go into our go into our graph editor. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. I just want to work in the Z axis here, so I'm clicking on Z there. I just want to shrink this down a bit. You use this kind of scaler here on the side. Now what happens here, this is the default setting in Blender, is if something moves, it almost makes it look like it's got inertia and brakes. So it doesn't start it off at immediately the same speed that it's going to go at, and it doesn't finish at a dead stop. It kind of slows down. But if you want something to keep spinning, actually it doesn't start slowly and then speed up. It doesn't start slowly and then speed up and then slow down again. It obviously keeps spinning at a constant rate. So to keep it spinning at a constant rate, all I'm going to do is just highlight these things here. If I right click now and do interpolation mode, I'll put linear. There we go, and that means it's just starting and stopping at a constant speed, if you like. There we go. So if I play that, there you go, kind of starts and a dead stop. There we go. Okay, so how do we make it keep spinning without having to kind of redraw this line all the time? Imagine if we wanted it to spin for a minute or so, that would just be tedious and laborious. So what we do, click the Z axis rotation button here with the graph thing. Click N on the keyboard, and this brings up a different menu here. Okay, and what we need to do now, there's a little modifier button here on the right hand side. Click modifier, add modifier, cycles. There we go. Hey presto, what has it done? It has added a whole load of cycles afterwards. It's basically repeated the first cycle, and if we now click play, we have a constantly rotating propeller, or in fact a constantly rotating anything depending on what you're doing. And there we go. Now that's not quite the end, to be honest. I can show you something slightly different. Because imagine if this is on a boat or a submarine or something like that. Well, if you wanted to show that boat or submarine moving, you might have the propeller would want to move in the same direction as well. And at the moment, you wouldn't be able to. If I tried to rotate the propeller on its own like that. Okay, now click play. You see it reverts back to its original kind of orientation. So that's not very helpful if you're kind of moving an animated object. So what we do, or what I would do, there may be another way around it. I would basically add a null. So I'm just going to click Shift and A to add an object. Add an empty, or I call it a null, but add an empty. Cube, it could be any of these, by the way. You can add just a circle, or I'm going to add a cube. You could add a point. There we go. I'm just going to scale that up a bit there. So let's just look at that from the side. Now, just to keep things tidy, I will scale that in the Z-axis, scale Z. There we go. Because I like to, if I'm going to make some kind of object to contain something, I don't like it to be overly big or anything like that. There we go. That's that. So what I want to do now is parent that propeller to this empty box. The empty doesn't actually appear on any animation, it's not rendered. So if I just click that first, click the object first, and then click Shift, and then click the empty like so, and then right click, parent, and I want to parent to the object. There we go, like so. Okay, so I'm going to just click play now, like that, and let's just stop it. So now what I can do, and I can, if I just rotate, if I want to rotate the null object, if I rotate that, let's assume it's for argument's sake. There we go, and now I press play. You can see how the propeller continues rotating in the same plane, if you like, as that null. So you can do anything with that null shape there. You could even animate that null if you wanted to. So imagine if you're going to kind of, if that submarine was kind of moving across the screen or going up and down or rotating like so, this propeller would continue to orientate itself and rotate about its own axis in that direction like that. And that's how we do it.